Sup. The opinions and views expressed in this podcast are that of our own and Future Bachelor only, and not affiliated with any outside party or entity. This fun podcast may include some adult language.
Future Bachelor Podcast.
I swear. Welcome to Future Bachelor. My name is Sai.
I'm Veronica.
And this is episode 129.
Hey.
And I'm so sorry for ruining that song for you guys, but
yeah, I was about to say.
yeah.
Add the awe sound in one part of it.
I did put the awe sound. It was like, I swear. Oh. I don't know. It's crazy here on the show, but I honestly think like that's one of the songs that you have to do that to.
Oh,
you have
so
to
good.
sing like that to it. And have you ever seen Just Friends?
No, I don't believe so.
The Ryan Reynolds classic with Amy Smart.
watch it.
And
I do like
he starts
Ryan
off
Reynolds.
fat. He likes Amy Smart, and then he gets like, sexy Ryan Gosling, or not Ryan Reynolds. And now he's a hockey player and famous and stuff. No, he's not a hockey player. I think he's like a music executive. But regardless, that was like the song that like is at the end of the movie where he's like singing it and stuff, and it's pretty funny. I don't know. I guess you guys have to see it yourself. But
Yeah, you gotta be there, I guess.
it's a great movie, and I'm just very surprised you haven't seen it yet. Because I would love to reminisce about it. Well, anyways, V, later on in the show, we have a very special guest, my friend and the very talented artist, J Bond, also known as the Unsigned artist. Later on in the show, talking about, art, social media, and what's been going on. Essentially, the other week I was just thinking, I'm like, I'm doing fun things like in my life as far as like in my apartment, making music and podcasting, but I want to like talk to some of our friends, like if you feel like talking to one of your friends, suggest them to be a podcast or a podcast, because like I legit
A guest. The word you're looking for is guest.
well, yeah, I suggest them to be a guest because like, I want to hear what other people are doing right now. I mean, I can call people and we can have conversations, but I want to have like some conversations here on the show for our listeners to kind of, see what else is going on out there, So, well, how have you been, V? What's been going on in your last week?
It's been popping. So it was Labor Day weekend. Mm-hmm. So, I, had some porch drinks with some pals. We both went to the pool together, which was fun.
Yeah, we made a video.
I know, you did. I'm a video hoe now. Like,
wow.
I made my debut. I don't know how it took this long, but I'm a video hoe.
Yeah, no, it's cool because like I haven't really been to too many pool days this summer, but we had just made that remix to that Adorn song by Miguel called These Lips. And we just want to make sure we always are creating content when we can. So that pool day was definitely fun and needed. Did you have a fun time?
I did have a fun time. I was like kind of stressed for part of the time that I was there because I was in the process of going under contract on a condo while we were there.
Wait. Did you just say you got a contract for a condo?
Yeah, I'm about to be a homeowner.
Whoa! Round of applause.
These are big girl moves. Like, I'm kind of shocked. I'm like, wow, this is like adult stuff. Like, how like we're adults, but sometimes I'm like, I'm looking for an adultier adult. This is me entering like adulthood because
wow. Look at you looking like for words
money.
that don't even make sense. Adult here. But anyways, that's very cool, Veronica. I'm very proud of you. Congratulations on all that. So that must have set it off for the rest of the weekend. What else are you getting into?
And then I went on the lake because my friend's parents were looking at, it was a weekend for real estate. My friend's parents were looking to buy a house on Lake Lanier. So they, as part of their search, they took us out, like rented a pontoon and took like the three of us out on the boat with them for a quick Labor Day boat day. I mean, I'm telling you, these days out in the sun, I'm exhausted. And now I guess like summer's ending. So, but in Atlanta, like summer ends, in October. So
yeah. Well, I pretty much like, I mean, between hanging out with you and also hung out a lot with Lexa. It was Saturday what did we do? We went to the pool, and then on Sunday we had
a cookout. Yeah,
we did the cookout. Was that one of the days, like me and her, I think it was like Saturday or
I think it was Sunday. You guys went to the roof of Hotel
Claremont.
Yeah,
see, I lost all track of my days, but we ended up doing like the roof at Claremont. We had gone to a couple different like restaurants and grabbed a drink like on some porch places, and then I actually watched Back to the Future 2 twice. On Saturday
Back to the Future 2 twice. You watched it twice.
I watched Back to the Future 2 twice. So that started because like Lexa and Kyle wanted to watch on Saturday. Lexa fell asleep 40 minutes left in the movie, and then Sunday she wanted to watch it to finish it. So it was a good Back to the Future weekend, because any weekend I see that, especially with this new tat, I was just like so into it.
You just like, was your arm just like,
I was like
glowing?
And if you guys don't know, that's the theme song for it.
Yeah.
And that's the noise it makes when it goes back in time. But wow. Anyways, did that, and then the night that like we were watching Back to the Future 2, her cat Essie got out, and the next morning we were supposed to go for a hike, and she was like, "Hey, my cat ran away." So we like went looking for Essie all day, and it was sad. The cat ran away. But later on that night, she sends me a text around like 8 or 9, and she's like, "Essie came home, and all is well in the world, and we had a great weekend."
See, this is why cats. This is like, I know there's plenty of cat people. I'm telling you, cats. I could never have a cat because a cat's a bigger bitch than me. I just can't have an animal out here doing some bitch ass thing like that, like running away full well knowing that they're giving you some anxiety just to trot back in, being all like, I knew where I was going.
Yeah, she knew the whole time. So
Who let the dogs out?
that's the closest thing I had to a cat
That's
drop.
all we got.
So, well, with that being said, we're doing crazy sound effects. We might as well take this sound all the way to quick hits. What do we got for some quick hits, V?
All right. Well, we have an update on the Tory Lanez Meg Thee Stallion situation. It's kind of a two-part update. Homeboy finally has been breaking his silence. At first, he broke his silence to address things that Forbes had been putting out, that his streams had gone down 40% after Meg had named him as the one that, shot her. And he first came out to be all like, that's not true. And then I'm like, that's the thing you're going to comment on first, Tori?
Right.
Like your freaking streams, save.
Yeah, it's like, dude, come on. You came out of your hole to be like, no, they're still listening to me. It's like, what are you trying to prove here, buddy?
I know, he said, that's a lie. I have 27 million monthly listeners on Spotify currently. And we're like, shh, Tori, no.
Yeah, that was last month, buddy. Wait a month for those numbers to catch up.
But there's also been texts that have surfaced of him saying sorry and kind of begging for Meg's forgiveness. It never explicitly says that he shot her, but he was like, I know you're probably never gonna talk to me again, but I genuinely want you to know I'm sorry from the bottom of my heart. And then one of his explanations was he was too drunk. So he just genuinely he repeated that multiple times, saying, "I genuinely got too drunk."
Well, I mean, I believe all that.
I mean, I believe that he got too drunk, but I don't think that's an excuse.
No, not an excuse, but I mean, it's definitely something that he should look at. It's like, dude, you know, if you're, it's just one of those things. Like, it shouldn't get that far for you to realize that you shouldn't drink as much. Like, you know.
Yeah.
But I mean,
agreed.
once you're like that, it's like you don't know that you're doing it probably, you know. So it's just like, it's not an excuse, but it just sucks because like you wake up the next day and you're like, I did that. Like, I don't even like, you know, that type of thing. It's just, those are the signs where you gotta, I mean, cut back a little bit. I mean, the thing is, it's like, dude, like he was probably just like on top of the world, you know what I'm saying? Like he's dating Meg Thee Stallion, the hottest like female and the hottest artist right now in the game, and you know, he's hanging out with the likes of people like Kylie Jenner and all them. This dude's just like on top of the world, letting the goose loose, you know. And
letting the goose loose.
I know, I just made that up. I don't know why, but you know, and then the gun goes flying. It's like, whoa, buddy, like shouldn't let the goose loose. So, we'll see what happens with that. This week was really crazy when it comes to music videos because DJ Khaled and Drake put out their music video for Popstar.
Popstar, yeah. Speaking of letting the goose loose.
Letting the goose loose, yeah. I mean, I wonder if it's been a thing because like DJ Khaled has been showing videos of him reaching out to Drake, like, you know, trying to get this video done. He's like, Drake, let's do that. Let's do a video for Popstar. Let's do a video for Grease, like, you know, whatever. So he's doing all these like videos, and I'm seeing it like throughout the last couple of weeks. Like, I'm like, damn, like DJ Khaled's really putting himself out there. Like,
DJ Khaled's needy as fuck.
Yeah, he's looking thirsty out here. But that, you know, that all played into the beginning of the video with like, it was just funny because Drake is like, dude, Khaled is going crazy right now. I can't, like, you know, and then it ends up being a cool video because, you know, the song's called Popstar, and the biggest pop star on the planet is Justin Bieber, you know, so having him, you know, do the whole video was just, that's like a dream come true to me. Like, if I could ever become, first of all, I would love to like be Drake, but I would love to work with DJ Khaled, and then I would love to have Justin Bieber play me in a video.
Justin Bieber on your phone. Just be like, hey, Biebs, ask him for a favor.
Yeah. So, you know, it was really cool to see. And it's cool because Justin Bieber, you know, it just felt like he always hangs out with these types of people, but like you haven't seen him in a while in like music video and stuff. So, and it was cool.
Well, and it was like he even said, I think his post or whatever said like Bizzle back for like one night only because it was kind of like him recreating kind of his douchey alter ego, well, his former self, his younger self that, you know, used to pee in buckets and used to like get into like do all this stuff. So it was kind of like him in the video even kind of shows that because then he wakes up next to Haley. He's like, whoa, like
the funny part is that like I was hoping Andy Samberg would like come popping in to the movie.
Really?
I mean, have you seen his movie Popstar?
Oh no, I haven't.
Yeah, where it's pretty much like it's kind of like a spoof on Justin Bieber's like Never Say Never. It's like something, I forgot what the title of it was, but essentially
I remember it being previewed. I never watched it.
But like he had a music video, and at the end of it, he's like, "Whoa, was that just a whole like VR virtual reality?" And that's kind of like how the end of this video kind of ended. It was like, whoa, was that all a dream? But some interesting things, I don't know if you noticed, but it had like a lot of like Vine influencers and stuff on there.
Yeah, some of those big like YouTube, Vine / TikTok folks that were in there.
You saw King Batch. You had Zayn from like the Vlog Squad.
Yeah.
There was like the Indian dude that I'd be seeing like in like, they're actually not that funny videos and stuff. But
no, they're not.
Yeah, you seen them? You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, no, they're not funny.
Yeah, I don't know why he's got so many followers.
They're not. I mean, you know, could really say a thing or two about what, you know, is considered funny, but
oh my God, you're cracking me up right now for no reason. Well, what else we got? I mean, anything else about that video that impressed you?
A lot of people, I think mostly for SEO purposes, like kept pulling out how like the song says like Selena, Ariana, and it's like, you know, like Justin Bieber's lip syncing that, and everyone's like, he said Selena's name, and I'm like, you guys, it's not that serious.
I mean, they know what they're doing
though. In it.
They know what they're doing though.
I know, but I think it's funny. Like I saw a friend post to their story, being all like, "Wow, like Drake knows what to do to make us like to force us to like this song." Because like I'll be honest, like I didn't think this song was that good, but like the way that the video was produced and everything, I'm like, damn, maybe I do like this song.
No, I mean this. I told you these songs are great. All of the Drake songs that have been coming out, but like I said, like we talked about on the podcast, I'm pretty sure that Drake doesn't just give great songs to other people to say it's their song. This is DJ Khaled's song.
Yeah, these are write-offs for him, you know?
Yeah, so yeah, these are like essentially his throwaways. So if these are his throwaways and I'm feeling him this much, his album's going to be super fire and I can't even like handle it.
Yeah, I hope I mean, honestly, like Popstar is still like isn't my fave.
Yeah, but if you're getting Justin Bieber to clean it up, like this is yeah. I mean, it's just like easy to make hits for you guys, like, you know.
For real.
But also I think it would be really cool, you know, just watching that. I think it would be really cool to see them make like an HBO show or a Netflix original, where it was like This Is the End, or like or Entourage or something like that, where they all play like themselves, like. Wouldn't that be cool? Like, you know, I just think it'd be cool if like Justin Bieber, Drake, and DJ Khaled were in like a Entourage type show together, where it's like, you know, they all link up for these type of situations, but like you got these like one-off storylines of like.
I guess I feel like DJ Khaled's like personality is like so like one-dimensional, so like I don't know.
But I think it'd be cool to see.
Khaled in it.
I think it'd be cool to put DJ Khaled in a situation where like it's like he's being himself, but he has to like be himself in normal situations that like, it's like being that like dramatic would be so ridiculous. Like trying to get like meat at the deli, but like he's second in line and then he pulls up to the line. He's like, "Can I get some roast beef? Man, you don't have any roast beef left? How are you not gonna have no roast beef at the deli?" Like, you know, like, and like the whole line is just like, "Yo, man, can we keep it moving? Why don't you wear a mask?" Like all those type of things. Like, I think it'd be funny to watch, but I don't know. That's just me.
It could be interesting. I mean, you know,
you
maybe you should pitch it. Maybe you should pitch it.
DJ Khaled at the deli, you know.
Some weird Seinfeld spinoff, honestly.
Yeah.
The way you're describing is like a literal episode of Seinfeld.
It's like Seinfeld, but with like Drake and Justin Bieber. DJ Khaled is Jerry.
Oh, boy.
So anyways, yeah, what else do we got?
Anyways, so we will not be able to keep up with the Kardashians after 2021.
Nice.
Because their last season, so they're ending after I think it'll be 20 seasons and 14 years, this upcoming season that will be premiering early 2021, which, you know, people have mixed reactions. I have always watched the Kardashians as like kind of like my numbing Sunday TV when I'm like folding laundry, because they used to always premiere on Sundays. They moved it to Thursdays, but now like I mean I keep up with the Kardashians, but
no. Now you get this one.
No, I mean like I was gonna say keep up with it. I was like I can't. No. I mean yeah, there's no way to get around that one.
When you say a joke twice, come on.
There's no way to get around it. I wasn't even trying. I was just saying a sentence. But it's kind of funny because like Courtney was pulling back. Like Courtney's barely on the show anymore. Like everyone's like kind of pulling back and doing their own thing. So it's bad because Kris Jenner, I always say, I'm like, the devil works hard, but Kris Jenner works harder. So like, you know, what's interesting when Kris Jenner is allowing her biggest money maker to end. So
you think
now
that's
these girls
their
are
biggest
all
money maker?
I mean, the show is like what, you know, projected them to everything. So I guess now that they're established,
it was Ray J.
Kim's own, you know, personal show, if you will, projected them to everything,
which is pretty incredible. But yeah, I mean, I just don't think they need to be doing it anymore. And also, the show just doesn't have like yeah, you could watch it, but it's legit like dumb TV now. Like before, it was interesting to see them on the rise, see them in these things and that. But now you know that they're famous as hell, and
like,
they're only putting on fake for the camera now. Like,
and now like it gets into like a lot of them have been pulling back for different reasons. Like Kylie's barely on there because she's annoying, and then Chloe and like Kim like were kind of taking center stage again on the show, but and Chris, honestly. So it's just like definitely it's followed them in different ways, and it usually now follows like when they're doing different stuff, or it just follows a lot of like their sister drama and stuff like that, or whatever, their lavish vacations. And it's just like,
I don't know, to me it always just felt like lately it was like them sitting around a kitchen like barely picking at like some dope
at
ass
their
food.
giant salads.
Yeah,
I love
like
those giant
some
salads.
dope ass food that they have there, and then
I love those giant
them
fucking
just
salads
trying
that
to
they
look
eat.
so cool by saying the least. So that's kind of end of an era right there. So good for them. Hopefully they'll move on. We all have to move on at some point, right?
Yeah,
Anyways, you're like, damn. What else we got, V?
So, Jay Cutler, former quarterback for the Bears and also former husband of Kristen Cavallari, made some news this week because he was seen out and about in Nashville with known Fox News commentator / my least favorite person, Tommy Lahren. Who, if anyone who's been on the internet in like the last several years, there's always like the thing where like you didn't say her real name. It was always like Tammy Lasagna or like Tam Berlin. Like you would make up these weird names for her. That's always what I think of when I think of Tommy Lahren. But they were seen out together, and everybody lost their minds, being all like, "Oh my God!"
What were you saying about Miley Cyrus and Tommy Bahama? Anyways, no, but seriously though, why is there a favorite person, or were you being sarcastic?
Do you know who Tommy Lahren is?
I know who Tommy Lahren is, but like, why'd you say Miley?
Oh, I didn't say Miley. I said she's my least favorite person.
Oh, I thought you said Miley's favorite person. Like I was like,
God,
what?
No, Miley. I'm sure Miley hates Tommy Lahren. Please, like Cardi B has like said that she'll curb stomp Tommy Lahren. Like after like she's like.
Oh yeah, they've been going back and forth, huh?
Yeah, so like she's got plenty of enemies in the music and like entertainment industry for things that she said about them. So everyone was like losing their minds when they saw that they were together. They were like, "No, Jay, not you." But he went onto his Instagram that he now has control over and did a video of him and one of his cows saying like that she's the only woman in his life. So they're officially just friends. Which that's still concerning to me. I don't want Jay Cutler to be friends with her because she's just like trash. But at least they're not dating.
I don't know. Like he seems like an asshole. Ladies,
I mean, yeah, I've never liked Jay as a.
How you gonna leave KC, man? Kristen Cavallari is like the coolest. Anyways. Speaking of new flings, who else is getting new flings these days?
So Zac Efron is officially a resident of Australia. He like fully moved there, is living there, and he is now dating this model, which good for him, of course. Australian model. Her name is Vanessa Valladares. And I mean, it's funny because a lot of memes are out being all like, like they're reading it. They're like, I just read Vanessa and I made it and I auto-completed in my brain to Vanessa Hudgens and I just went with it because it was like better times because when they used to date back in the High School Musical days. But she's really pretty.
Speaking of Vanessa Hudgens, I just watched a movie from like 2013 that had like 50 Cent in it, and it had Nicolas Cage. It had what's
movie
his name?
was this?
Who else was in it? What's his name from Hot Tub Time Machine? John Cusack.
Oh, John Cusack. That's how you know John Cusack is from Hot Tub Time Machine.
Well, bitch, I love time travel. What do you want from me? I could say I could have said 10 movies right now. I'll go down a list of 10 John Cusack movies, but I bet you like our listeners won't know like 10 of them. So. Hot Tub Time Machine, yeah. Anyways, no offense, listeners. It's just like I don't know.
Most of them will know the '80s versions of John Cusack more than anything.
Whatever. Well, yeah, it was a pretty crazy movie. Look it up on Netflix. I forgot what the name of it is. I don't know the name of songs I listened to. I don't know.
Vanessa Hudgens was in.
Vanessa Hudgens played like a prostitute and drug addict.
Interesting.
Yeah, she's kind of annoying in it, but I just
she's kind of annoying. She was in Spring Breakers.
Yeah, I don't like her as an actress. I never did, and I also don't think she's like Zac Efron hot. Like, if that makes any sense.
Yes, hey, I feel that.
I think she got lucky, like getting him at a young age, like
Yeah,
because,
when they were both teens, or early 20s.
And I'm sure she was a freak. That's like, but I don't know. I'm sure. Like, I mean, I just saw this movie. She was a prostitute, and there was like a little strip.
You think it was method acting?
It's funny because I think she smoked meth before getting on the stage, but there was like a little strip club scene. I was like, okay, I don't know if like dancing on a strip pole is considered acting, but she was good at it. So anyways, check out the movie. 2013. So what I mean, good for Zac Efron, got a show on Netflix. And a new Australian girlfriend. So, what made you go yikes this week? And that's my Australian accent. That's terrible. Sorry. Have you ever seen Just Go With It? There's like the little girl in the movie that's like trying to become an actress and.
Oh yes, yes.
And she's like, Piper, you're not a whore. That's like how I do all my accents. So, what made you go yikes this week, V?
I actually have two yikeses.
Oh no.
One is a natural disaster created by humans. So I've said time and time again on this podcast how I do not like gender reveal parties. They're if anything, at minimum, they're annoying and ridiculous.
I do agree with you that they're annoying, but I did want to ask you, continue your thoughts on what you think of them.
I mean, I just think it's ridiculous to also gender's a construct. I think it's dumb to gender a baby, the blue and the pink and the whatever, and do all this stuff before it's even out of the womb.
Sure.
And I just think it's not,
So you have a problem with the pink and blue thing?
I just have a problem with making a huge deal over guessing the gender and whatever, because you don't know how your child's going to live their life. Gender truly is a form of expression and different things like that. If you want to have I'm all for people having a baby shower to get the presents, to get the goods, because having a baby is expensive, but I don't think we need to have also it's just so extra. It's we're having a gender reveal party and then we have a baby shower and then we have this, and it's just could we just do one? If you want to get your goods, one party.
I agree with you pretty much on all that. I just think, as far as I was just wondering if you had an issue with people announcing the sex of the baby.
Yeah, because they don't announce it, and plus I don't really care. It's up to the parents to, if they want to figure out what the sex. So sex versus gender, two different things. Mm-hmm. If they want to figure out the sex, so what genitals I guess their baby has, they can, and that's up to them. Some people. I'm just saying though.
What my question, I guess, is saying do you have a problem with them announcing that it's gonna be a boy or a girl? Would there be another way to announce the child you have being that's how we differentiate between the different sexes is a boy or a girl. The only other thing I could say, it's to not even I mean, it would still mean the same thing, but you'd be it has a penis, it has a vagina.
I guess the whole dichotomy of boy and girl is also just it's just why do we have to what is that affecting them before they're born? Why do we have to decide I mean, everything could be gender neutral before they're born until they start to actually express themselves through gender,
Sure. I mean, I believe that. I mean, you're saying, well, I guess I've always wondered, you want to know the sex of the baby so you can prepare.
Yeah, but what do you have to prepare?
I don't know. Do baby boys grow at different sizes as baby girls?
When they're a babe, like that first year of life, no, like the first year of life, they're gonna honestly, like developmental wise, like I'm sure we could talk to my friend who's an occupational therapist and knows all about that, but like developmental wise, like it doesn't really matter the sex.
Well, I'm
and
just saying though, like if you don't tell people the sex of the baby, every single question is going to be like, is it a boy or a girl? Whether it's like a kid or a dog.
I know,
like,
which is a social construct. It's ridiculous because like some people don't even use like she and her versus like he and him. So like, what's the point?
I mean, it's just two different types of thinking.
Yeah, well.
I mean, I see a point to it. I also see like where you're coming from. Like, you know, you can, it just requires the whole society to like rewire their mind, and
which is
it's
why
hard.
I just think we could start by not having gender reveal parties, especially because the actual yikes of this is they're so extra nowadays that this is not the first time that there's been a major wildfire started by a gender reveal party, but this is the second time, and it's already a crazy wildfire time in California and Oregon and up the Pacific Northwest. But this one from a gender reveal party was like, you know, a big explosion thing. It I think the fire like has gone to be like 10,000 acres just from, it's just like people really like
I saw this meme. It was like only in America, and it was like this big huge blue mushroom cloud. It was like, it's a boy.
It's a boy.
Like a
literally.
nuclear bomb went off. But yeah, I do think I like I said it before, like I love watching gender reveal party fails, like online, like videos where they just messed up the whole thing or hurt themselves while doing it. But yeah, this has definitely gotten out of hand. I think it's I mean, like we'll get into our interview with J-Bon later on, like, you know, I think it's social media. It's all about social media. It's about the video you get. It's about, you know, people congratulating you. It's about, you know, all that stuff. And it's down to weddings, to birthdays. It could be opening up a bottle of champagne, whatever you're doing. Like, you know, getting a new car, new you know, condo or something like that. But, you know, I mean, how far do you go? How far do you go with those things? Like, you know, before it's like, can you appreciate those things? Can you make a big deal out of those things? Like, are we being haters for these people that just want to do it big?
I mean, I'm okay with being a hater on this just because because I just think it's ridiculous to put gender norms and gender roles on a baby that's not in this world.
But you'll still go
yet.
to a baby shower.
A baby shower, yeah, but I'm not all about like.
You'll still go to a gender reveal party.
I won't go. I've never been invited to a gender reveal party.
Really?
I hope none of my friends have them. No.
Really?
No.
Wow. Okay.
No, sir. That is. I mean, my friends are very much so.
I've been to like a bunch over the years.
I haven't been to any, and also, I mean, I've been to more, I mean, like, my friends are a tad younger than you, so not as many of them are having kids, right?
Sure.
Like, not many of my, like, close friends are having kids. Like, I know people my age that have multiple kids, but not any of my close friends have kids right now, so... but yeah, but my second yikes moment was there's this this girl, Danielle Cohn, who is like on TikTok and stuff, and she has been promoting people to use her song, you know, to do videos and to do dance challenges. And her song that's like recorded is her doing a cover of Foolish by Ashanti. And like she did like a whole video and stuff and has been claiming that it's like her song and everything like that. And if you actually go on Spotify or anything like that, you could see that in the writer's credits, there's no writer in there and whatever, because it's legitimately just Ashanti's song that she covered.
Okay, so I saw this and it had me thinking, you know, I think there's levels to this, okay? Because let's start with our opening song, I Swear, All for One, right? Great song.
Mm-hmm. Great song.
Did you know who sings that? Usually people don't know who sings that song.
No, I did not know.
It's this group called All for One. They had one hit called I Swear, and I think one more. But both those songs were actually songs from a country artist. His name was like John Michael Montgomery. So I Swear I was playing it before the show, and you were kind of singing along with it, but it's a country song. No one even knows who sings I Swear, but they definitely don't know who sang the original version of it. You know? And let's talk about Whitney Houston, I'll Always Love You. That was written by Dolly Parton.
Yeah.
You know, I didn't know that until like I was older and stuff, that like that was not Whitney Houston's like song, you know? So now let's bring it to me. I just did a cover of Lenny Kravitz's song Fly Away.
Yeah.
And this is where it had me thinking. I'm like, you know, nowadays it's like their covers are so popular, you know, and if you do covers, like people know you do covers. So calling it a cover is something that like I'm like considering like these days. Like I didn't call it a cover. I just because I redid the song and all that stuff, because people do that all the time. People take old songs and make them newer. You know, I think where the difference is between someone like me and maybe someone like I'm not sure of Danielle Cohen's like following, but if you're trying to like really, really profit hard, putting it on Spotify, I think is one thing as like an independent artist. Like, you know, I guess for me, it's like, I'm trying to get the attention of Lenny Kravitz, like to listen to it. And if he if he sends me a cease and desist letter, it'll come off. But like, until then, I don't feel like I'm hurting Lenny Kravitz's pocket, you know, with my
No, well, and the other
views.
thing with this is that she was also kind of blackfishing with the whole thing, because it's Ashanti song and Ashanti is black. And then like in her video, this girl who is white, she like fully like does it up like Ashanti, and like also is like how she's been promoting it and stuff, like is that she's promoting it as like she's like that she is like, you know, a new wave Ashanti.
Yeah, I think it's really easy to hate on her. Because of like her bad makeup, or just like, you know, she's not that great of a singer, or the video is just all kind of cheesy and shit, or the fact that like Ashanti,
the fact that she's asking people to do a dance challenge to her song, I think is where it gets a little iffy, because it's like people are like, whose song, ma'am? Like, this isn't. Is
it a cover?
She doesn't call it a cover. She calls it her new single. It's listed as a single.
I don't know. This one's a hard one. Because like I want to know like if like Ashanti is really offended that she would like do that. Like it's like how many people are going to like profit off this, or how much do you think she'd actually profit off of this? If anything, I'd be more mad about like the merchandise and stuff. Like, you know.
Yeah, that's the thing, is like she has like put out merchandise and whatever for it as like her single. And whatever.
I think she's getting some hate because this shit happens all the time in music. You hear like popular songs all the time that are taken from older songs. It's just the way it is, like sampling.
Of course, yeah. But I mean, it's just like, this is like an exact like copy paste. This is like, I don't know. It's not really.
I mean, I've seen people like get millions and millions of views and shares doing the same thing, and not necessarily even calling it a cover. Like Alien Ant Farm. You know, they did Smooth Criminal by Michael Jackson. And, you know, I don't even know when it came out if necessarily people knew Smooth Criminal by Alien Ant Farm was a Michael Jackson song. But it was like a rock version of it and all this stuff. It's just, there's time and time again of different, like, examples of music. And I just think, you know, if you're like a Rebecca Black type, you know, you're going to get shit on. Like, people have been shitting on those type of singers forever, so give them a reason, they're gonna come at you.
You know, well, and Rebecca Black's really cool now too. I love
my god,
her.
Rebecca Black, I like follow her, and she is so beautiful, and I like all her pictures. It's crazy. Rebecca Black, I'm your number one fan. So, I didn't know you were so incredible. Sorry. So. With all that being
so maybe
said,
Danielle Cohn could be the next Rebecca Black, but I don't know. She's not on a good start with just like, you know, copying Ashanti's song line for line,
right,
beat for beat, everything the same.
Well, that's cool. I'd like to introduce a longtime friend of me. He goes by the name, the unsigned artist, the very talented J Bond. Let's give him a round of applause. Yeah, man. What's going on, J-Bon? How are you? Welcome to the show.
Good, Si. Thank you for having me, man. I'm honored. Thank you.
Oh, dude, I honestly, since COVID hit, I've been really wanting to. I haven't done too much. I mean, I've been making music in my place, working and everything, but I've been really wanting to reach out to some, people that I think are interesting, my friends, and see what's been going on in their lives. And I really appreciate it, man. We go back a long time. I was trying to remember how we met, but I'm pretty sure it's through our mutual friend Noel, aka
absolutely.
Kid Famous, aka Kid the Traveler, aka
Guys with
Traveler.
all these nicknames, I swear to God.
We go through phases. It's kind of like chapters in our lives.
Exactly.
And actually it's dope because that's how you know how long you've known me. You know what I'm saying? Like if you know my real name, you really know me.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I mean, the way it started that I can remember with me and Jay was he had. I mean, I'm not really sure where you are with the clothing line these days, but you had a clothing line. You'd printed shirts back in the day, and obviously Veronica knows me now. I like to have like my own logos and stuff on shirts. So J-Bon used to give me like the hookup, and I'd be getting boxes of T-shirts with my logo on it, and it kind of started there with us. But throughout the years, we worked together through music, and I moved up to Atlanta. You're in Orlando, right?
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah, I've been full-time Orlando for a while.
Yeah. So, I mean, throughout the years, just like myself, I've seen you evolve into, to do different things. And one of the things that I've seen you, really, do really well at is art, which is, a huge thing as far as, what's out there right now, but it's hard to get into. And I kind of wanted to like talk to you about what it's like being an artist and, the good, the bad that comes with it, and where you got started. So kind of like, give our listeners like a little introduction into, your come up.
For sure, man. Thank you. I mean, first of all, thanks for having me. This is dope. Cheers to you guys for keeping this going. It's like 100 and something episodes.
This is episode 129, baby.
Yeah, you're on the 129. So.
I was gonna say 130. So cool. Congratulations to you guys. That's epic.
Thanks.
To kind of just like start from the beginning, college was my big hit as far as like with my art, and I learned how to silk screen very early on in my career. So if it wasn't for that in college, I probably don't know what I would be doing, because it just was another outlet for me to be able to put like my creative views onto canvas. And that's actually how the clothing line kind of evolved. At the time, we were young, we were into streetwear. Men's clothing was real hot. Graphic tees were really dope. Mm-hmm. And I just had a niche for being able to create really good graphic tees. And, J-Bon Clothing is my first brand. So that's kind of what Sai mentioned, and that's how it evolved. My art was always kind of originally out there. It was just on T-shirts everywhere.
Well, the impressive part about like the T-shirt thing, though, I mean, I know you started like in your dorm room, right, making these shirts and stuff. But by the time I had met you, you actually had like a printing like office. It was really nice, and like Cocoa Beach, right?
Yeah. I was living in Cocoa Beach at the time. I graduated from Flagler College, and my hometown is Rockledge, which is mainland of Cocoa Beach. So I actually acquired a T-shirt company that was going out of business. And I took everything that I had saved during college and purchased that business at the time, and just built my company from there. And over the span of about 7 or 8 years, that clothing company was in stores all over the world. And so very grateful for that chapter in my life, because it definitely was like a leap into where I am now. And really, really glad that I kind of took that route. You know what I mean?
Well, the next thing that you kind of went into that I thought like, all right, so, you're like one of those people that, of course, I think is interesting, because you keep finding new things that you're like really good at. And, that you took the clothing, which is an awesome thing. Some people like just like they'll keep doing things they're not good at, or they just will never find what they're good at. But you went in.
They don't try enough things to find out.
But you expanded and did this this brimskins thing, which was like, I mean, I'll let you explain, but like it was kind of like pretty inventive. You had gotten a trademark for it and everything, right?
Yeah, I have the patent, like the patent. So it's 20-year section of like a utility patent for brim skins, which is just a custom way to it's an adhesive template that's made out of fabric that allows you to customize your hat brim. So you can go to brimskinsonline.com and you can upload any image, and I send you a piece of fabric that you're able to customize your hat brim with.
Oh, cool.
So, yeah, a few years ago. And if you look at it, Sai, all these things spawn within the same realm of art. I was in the fashion world for a little bit. Hats are still kind of in fashion. As I was printing my t-shirts, to tell you the truth, every time I print a t-shirt, like a new design, I always took a piece of canvas and printed it on a piece of canvas. And I actually have a stack in my studio. I have a room of just memorabilia.
Yeah.
Years, all these things I create, inventions that I've never even put out, like things that I've never talked about.
Yeah.
I have like hundreds of those.
Well, the cool part about that, like Veronica, to explain the brim skins a little bit, like, I don't know, I mean, back in my day, we used to have to kind of like put covers on our books and stuff, and then they made like the fabric ones that kind of stretched over your, like, you know, but, you know, so these, like, this is pretty much like you have a hat and you can make, you know, if you wanted a wooden, like this panel on your brim and stuff. And I would see these at like, what was the popular at Lids and stuff in the malls.
Lids and all over the world, and, you know, in Lids.
Yeah.
And so the market changes, and to be quite honest, I believe that product was kind of a little bit ahead of its time, because 10 years ago when that was popping, we didn't have technology in front of us the way that we do. You couldn't just upload an image from your phone. Mm-hmm. So I had this product that was like, hey, upload an image from your phone. And I had an app. I built the website. I pretty much have a Photoshop version of your hat where you can create the brim there.
The template.
So this was like 8 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And like, that was just so before its time that even in Lids, the big companies like Nike, Adidas, Puma, those guys were also picking up on that fad of having cheetah on your brim. So they were just making hats with that already on it. Mm-hmm. So I am a different product. I kind of in a whole new category. But at the end of the day, because I have the patent, I have to protect it, not allow other people to do it. I would love to have them acquire it and purchase the business. I'm still trying to figure something out with it. Like, it's just a little bit on hiatus. And I had some partners, things didn't work out, and I had to back out of a lot of stuff, and that takes time. So
yeah.
Well, there may still be a future. I think maybe time has caught up to it. Social media.
I mean, I could see that being like, if I'm on Instagram and it's just like, one of those ads or something, you slide through and it brings you there, and it's just like easily like, I mean, like the Nike kicks or whatever that they make and everything. So.
Well, I think at the end of the day, 8 years ago, I was marketing to the men's fashion world, and now this is a product that's like anybody can do it. Right. So if I can rebrand the product as a product that anybody can use, which is what I'm doing, I'm just looking for a partner that knows how to like do business right.
Listeners, you hear that?
Yeah.
All right. Well, I mean, from there.
Brimskinsonline.com.
Yeah, exactly. Well, from there, I'm like and please fill in the blanks. Like, obviously I'm not like next to you, but I've always kept up with your stuff. From there, like, I start seeing you do, not just, paintings and stuff, but you've been doing murals like on like walls and things like at hotels and pretty big deal stuff, like almost to the point where like you're doing like interior design stuff, right? Like, so where do you start with the art?
McQueen Social Lounge downtown is like an entire build out. Oh. I was blessed with that opportunity to kind of like put my vision on it. And, thank you to Maddie and Scott and everybody there. Like, those guys are amazing. The whole crew, like, everybody put a lot of effort into that concept. And just the honor to be able to execute it was where I stand.
So what is that, a bar? Is it, because I haven't been back in Orlando in a while and stuff. But
it's a craft cocktail lounge. It's above Bullet, so it's connected to Bullet Bar. And which Bullet, as you know, I've had a big hand in there for a long time.
But just to describe this place a little bit, like, you got like the Golden Skull wall, and I'm not just talking about just like one wall. Like, this is like a big wall. You got like candle melted like chandeliers in there, and it's just it's a whole vibe. And like, where does it start? Like, where did you start? Like, I know you were saying you put your prints on canvases, but where did you start like delving into painting and stuff?
I think during my time while I was making T-shirts and when I lived back home, I was really inspired by like a good friend of mine, Chris Maslow. His Instagram is Christopher Maslow.
Okay.
He's just an OG from where I'm from, and I kind of always was like looked up to his work and his ability to pick up a can and do it. I don't use a brush. Like I really don't. It's not in my tool belt. If you go in my studio, I have a couple brushes and they're probably hardened from paint. Like I don't use them in that way. I use them to like splatter stuff and I silk screen a lot. I've just really got more into the mixed media side of things. But when you're resorting back to murals, I think that was because one day Chris stepped into my studio and I was printing T-shirts and he knew, the same studio you were talking about. And he ended up just throwing down on my wall in front of me, big J-Bond times slow with a skull. And I was just kind of like, fuck, that's awesome. Like, that is awesome that you just have that talent. Yeah. And so you just showed me a little bit about can control. And then I think from there, I can't just do a little canvas. Like, you can't really establish much on a canvas with spray paint. You have to have a wall. So it's really just the having the balls to like really go and do it and not be afraid of the wall. Like, I mean, at the end of the day, you can start over.
Yeah. I mean, do you have people reaching out to you to like do a wall up, or do you like try to find the perfect wall and you reach out to them and you're like, all right. I mean, at this point, I know you have a reputation, so it's like it's probably easier to like collaborate on those things, but starting out.
No, I think in the world of art, you kind of if you're someone like me who you kind of taste a little bit of everything, you see what you like best, and then you just kind of gravitate more towards that. Like, I'm obviously kind of more gravitating towards gallery work, hotel lobby. I'm opening my own gallery in the next couple months. So like, I'm incredibly excited more about my particulars and the way that my work is presented and how that looks. And if I'm wasting my time, not wasting my time, but if I'm allocating my time doing street murals, I'm kind of taken away from that. And it's not that I don't love it. Every once in a while I pick up a can and all, but like, it was a small chapter. I still enjoy it, and I'm going to probably keep doing it when the occasions arise. But
yeah. Well, Veronica, I wanted to kind of get into like social media with him. Did you have any questions like for Jay?
Sure. I guess we could. Do you want to start? Like, you want me to just hop into the social media stuff? Or?
Well, I'll introduce like the fact of like what I wanted to talk to you about, Jay, is like, a couple, like within the last year, like, you had reached up to like what, like over 40,000 followers on Instagram, and out of nowhere, I mean, I saw you soul searching, like you've gone like, you kind of like on your own little Mecca, it looked like. And, I don't know, I guess if you want to kind of describe that, but we kind of wanted to get into like thoughts of social media and maybe some specific questions into it, but I'm sure you'd be able to tell that story better than me.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, to be completely frank, there's a point in everybody's life where you kind of wake up a little bit and you're like, oh man, I didn't even realize I had those goggles on. You know what I mean? And so for me to sum it up, we grew up in an age where we were blessed with social media from day one. So like, you're speaking about the days when me and you met, and like, just think about me and you in the club back then with all of our friends, with getting everything we want for free and drink. You're living that life, man. And like, you're getting these numbers on Instagram, and we were early. So like, we were able to collect quick, big numbers. Engagement was very like popular at the beginning. So we were raised in that generation where you become this, this entity, this different person online, not necessarily than you are in person, but let's just put it this way. I didn't have 40,000 friends in real life.
Of course. Yeah.
Why am I walking around like in my head, like, I walk into the club thinking like everybody fucking knows me. Not everybody knows me, but like, what I'm saying? I still act like it. Like, yeah. I'm not being that way, but in my head, you know what I mean?
Yeah, but I do want to let you know that people do know you, though. Like, I mean, I didn't realize. I'm not gonna blow your head up too much, but I do know that you're like really well known. Like, I would consider you like a socialite in Orlando, like, you know, and like, you know, there's not much room for, like, I feel like artists to have like one of those spots in a city, you know what I'm saying? So, and I think you do a really good job of like, you know, keeping good relationships. Like me and you is a pure example of that, you know, and you being on the show today. So yeah, man, you know, definitely I could see how, you know, also social media and also that could, like, you know, get to one's head.
Yeah, I think like I said, at one point you kind of wake up and you're also at the same time you're going through the process of not keeping in touch with friends as much as you and I have, and you lose a lot of friends and things happen over the years and you kind of learn like a little bit more of what's important. So I think at the end of the day, what I did was I turned that old profile into a gallery, which is my portfolio. I never use it. I only post just my finished art. I don't allow commenting. I don't communicate on it. I don't use it. It's just there so that I can send my clients something to look at.
Yeah, it's like a portfolio. It's like, yeah, it's a portfolio, like a resume for your art.
Yeah. And now it'll be a main page for my new gallery that I'll be opening called the Unsigned Gallery. And I'm really excited about that. It'll be downtown Orlando.
Wow, dude. Holy cow.
Ooh.
Round of applause.
Yeah, so I'm excited. Yeah. I think what you said, to sum it up, it's just a little bit of soul searching, man. And I wanted to start. I know that true growth starts from scratch. So I wanted to start over and reconnect with everybody that truly cared about my work. Because not all those 40,000 followers were for my art. A lot of them were for my past careers. A lot of them were from Brimskins. A lot of them were from my clothing. You know, when me and you met, I probably had half of those. Mm-hmm. So let's be honest. I'm just keeping it real. Mm-hmm. I'm keeping it real with myself. And so that was what really was the whole point, was to kind of humble myself a little bit. And then also show like other people it's okay. Like it's straight. I get just as much work with this profile than I do my other.
Yeah.
You see a difference in the way I'm treated as far as people that number at the top of my profile. When it matters to those people, I see a difference. Like I don't get hit up as much. I don't get as many yeses, but I still get the same amount of work because I get out what I put in.
Yeah. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. I was going to say, I thought that was like the cool part about it. Cause I mean, it was kind of like, I would say like a kind of like a funeral like thing that you did, because it was like one day you were like, hey, look, I'm gonna cancel this account if you really want to follow me and what I do and who I am, like no more fake shit, like, you know, follow this new account. And you kind of gave it like a week or something, and you know, I follow everything you do, like even down to your bonsai trees. But
bro, try to like think of the getting thousands of likes on photos, and then the next day getting like a couple.
Right.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's like a serious ego check. You're legit checking yourself. You're like, and you can't go back, bro. Yeah. I couldn't just go back.
Yeah, because they know you feed for that, because they would call. Yeah, you'd be. Yeah, I feel you. But
like you can't say just kidding.
Yeah, like, oh my bad. I want to cool, man. How bad do you look?
Yeah, I mean, but what is the feeling like of knowing that those people that actually, like, even if it was 2 likes, like at least those 2 people came from this account and like your stuff, like they're not just like
your engagement is real.
Yeah,
it's not that it's not real before. It's just that it's very diluted over the years, and that happens, man. People that followed you even a couple months ago aren't as interested unless they're really a true, you know, they really like your work.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I feel that. I just needed to hit the restart button on life in general, and that's a big part of my life. So without doing that, I would still be the same person. And it ultimately, you know, evolving and living a creative life is a lifelong goal. And like, that's something I'm very passionate about.
Yeah.
So my evolution as a man will translate into my work. And the more mature I become, the more like I kind of get in tune and have these ego checks, the more I end up coming out with a collection that actually has some depth to it and means something to it. Damn. And that's where I started to like respect my own work, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
If that makes any sense.
No, for sure. I mean, with you talking about that, you know, I feel you completely, man. Like I have my goals and I have all these things I want to achieve. And with that being said, you know, I know we're like the same age. I know you like to party, but how has that, like, I mean, not just because of COVID, but like how, as we get older, are you maturing? Like, how are you taking deeper looks at yourself? And how has it like affected, like, have you reached a point where you're like, whoa, because what people don't know is like, we are high functioning people. We're like legit, you know, when most people are hungover, they stay in bed all day, but like we'll be hungover and we'll still do something the next day, just to be productive. But that'll take a toll on somebody eventually, you know? You can't always necessarily, just keep on and do like the partying and work hard. How do you manage that?
I'm
Sorry, is he free? 1 second. Is he freezing
I live
for you?
alone. I've lived alone for a while. And what I mean by that is like going to a place away where you're able to kind of disconnect. I'm very fortunate. I have a family cabin, and recently over the past year, I've spent a lot of time there. And I went there for like 40 days. 30 something days, and just me and my dog, and kind of detached. I still had social media, but I used it for a cleanse. I was able to go out, and by cleanse, I just mean like eating healthy again, living off the land as much as I could. I was fishing and hunting and chopping my own firewood, and it's just this cabin in the middle of nowhere. So there's no better way, no faster way to the universe than through the forest. And that's what someone told me. So I went and I spent my time out there, and it was just the best connection with who I was. Cause at the end of the day, I was able to sit there and like figure out who I was without these goals that we set on ourselves. All like every day we wake up and I have a list, right? Throw that list away and like go out in the middle of somewhere and just, you really find out more out about yourself and what you can achieve. And so that's how I kind of detach. That's how I get away. But it's not for long because I was back at work.
Well, sorry, Veronica. I'm getting a little like feedback on my end, but you, yeah.
But no, I mean that's cool with the whole cabin thing, because I feel like because of social media or because of technology nowadays, we live in such a connected world, and like it's so hard to like disconnect. And I feel like actually like getting back into nature is probably the best way to do it. And does that like impact like what then you go and create when it comes to your art? Like how does that influence like your art?
I mean, I would love to say yes, it just brings all these ideas, but I think relaxing the mind and like just relaxing my thoughts. I'm a bit of an overthinker.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm always creating in my own head. So I think just to relax alone, the mind needs that to also create. So I definitely think it helps. It's just it's a mind for a couple of days. And so, yeah, it helps with the process for sure. I've actually never gone out into the middle of nowhere and created other than like bonsai work. I like to do bonsai as a hobby.
Yeah. No, that shit is dope, man. Actually, I mean, like people have the plant bug these days. So obviously bonsais are one of those like, plants that, I mean, I'm not even sure what the upkeep is, but I mean, you have a lot of different kinds. Like how'd you get into all that?
It's a different form of art too, man. Like, and a lot of people think like bonsai, they think Mr. Miyagi, right? You think the wavy juniper that looks super Japanese, and that's a species. Like that's a type of bonsai. But over the years, and there are those traditional species that are probably the OGs of it, right?
Yeah.
But over the years, they've developed the art of bonsai, and really, it's the art of taking any species of a tree and potting it and landscaping it to look like an ancient version. So you've seen some of my stuff, and it looks like a massive tree, but it's like yay big.
Yeah.
But that thing is like 40, 50 years old. I have some that are like almost 100 years old.
Crazy.
And so it's the appreciation of that and how it got to me. There's art, there's, tree artists, bonsai artists that have been training these trees for years. And now I have the responsibility of making sure that tree continues to live on. So I started out very, very small and caught the bug quick.
Yeah.
Once I realized that I was pretty good at it, I think that just like anything else I do, like you said, I go like 100, bro. Like I love it. And it taught me patience. It's a big form of like, I guess like it's a form of meditation in a way for me. It helps ease the mind. You know what I mean? It brings me back to nature. I'm not creating in the moment. I'm actually create for a very long time to get to a point that I have like that I envision it to be, but it's got to grow.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like it just ties back into becoming a better person.
For sure, man. I was gonna say, we talk about music on here. Veronica, what you're a big fan of, why don't you ask?
I was told that you're a big fan of Mac Miller.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I got a couple Mac tattoos. I love Mac. R.I.P. Mac.
I know. It was the second anniversary of his death this past week. So I guess I wanted to just know more about like your connection to Mac's music and, if that's had any impact on what you do.
Oh man, yeah. And to be honest, I wasn't like a huge fan. If this makes sense, I'm a fan of the adult Mac.
Yeah.
He's got a few albums that aren't necessarily at the front of my deck, but from the Macadelic, movies with watching movies with the sound, everything. Like I have almost every one, circles, swimming, all on vinyl. And when I started collecting vinyls, is really when I started appreciating jazz, and he started, really getting into that vibe. And like halfway through his career, he started putting out music that had a lot more soul. It wasn't as much rap. It was more about growth and feelings, and he's just being vulnerable and putting himself out there. And to be honest, I think that's some of the best music people can make is when they're being honest. So I really liked his form of just creative output in his later years. So that's really where I got tied into it. It's probably about, very close to before he passed, actually.
Yeah, probably like 2016 on was that phase, I would say, of him.
Yeah, and that's it. I mean, I don't want to claim to be like a diehard from the beginning, but I want to say that like some of my favorite music is created by him. And he's absolutely an influence on a lot of my work. He's definitely helped me think about, situations in my own past and future. It's crazy how music can kind of help you learn things and teach you things that, you just don't learn from anybody.
No.
Yeah, it's like it accesses part of like, I feel like your brain that you sometimes either push down or avoid. But it's like when you're listening to music, you're like, how can I avoid it?
Yeah. And you think there's so many musicians out there. I'm bound to relate to one of them. You know what I'm saying? So like, I'm definitely gravitating because I can relate to a lot of things he's saying. I was going through the same thing that he was at the same time he was creating those type of albums. And that's what I gravitate, and I do that a lot with other artists too. I'm a big fan of MGK. I like Machine Gun Kelly. He's, like Kasky, Hometown. Like I'm a huge fan of anybody who can create a project and become a character and do it with a purpose. So like there's artists that are the same person all day, every day for their whole career. They'll always put out an album. What's coming next. What it's going to sound like. They're never going to change. But like these artists that put something out there and are constantly evolving and trying new things, that's what I'm trying to do with my career. So I relate to that. So maybe I'm gravitating to that same animal. And, I'm pretty outspoken about what I'm going through because that's life, man. I try to be as real as possible. If you're going to put it on the internet, it's going to be there forever. Better keep it real.
Yeah. And it's something I struggle with too. Like I put a lot out there on the internet and some would say like, that, like, oh yeah, you do post. But like, one thing that you do is like, I feel like you put more personality into it, as in like personal, like the personal side of it. You You're just more like you talk to the camera. I don't really talk to the camera too much. Like, you know, it's a weird thing. And you think I would. Like, I'm doing it right now, actually. But like,
yeah, for real.
But I'm never like, you know, like, yo, guys, what's going on? Today we're going to go and, like, you know, but J-Bond does stuff like that. Not saying it's a bad thing or anything. I just, it's what allows you to be able to talk through your phone to people that you don't even know who are looking and stuff.
Yeah, and that's where I was getting freaked out for a little bit. Is I realized that I'm sitting here all day talking and recording to a screen to a bunch of people that I don't know.
Yeah,
and counting how many people view it.
Yeah, no, dude. I mean, that's
man,
real.
What are you doing?
That's real, dude. I mean, people do it. Like, I mean, it's like you kind of like sometimes maybe you're checking for somebody, checking for a number. You know, all those things are real. That's all. That's why we talk about social media a lot on this, because
all those things are distractions. You just named all those distractions.
Right. It's really hard, man. Like, even during the days now, because I work from home, it's just like all my devices are just like, I mean, this is legit where I work. Like, you know, so, you know, even on my phone, I have to put like my phone time limit on from like 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. Like, everything is off. Like, I can't, like, my apps are not accessible and stuff. But it's because like I found myself, like, I'd be like working on a video for work. And all of a sudden, like, I wake up and I'm not like legit waking up, but like I'm like on my phone and I'm like, wait a second, I'm supposed to be editing a video. Like, I didn't even remember when I picked up my phone. So it's like,
did you set a lock on your phone to like not let you use apps?
Yeah, the phone allows you to do that. It's just like downtime on your phone where you pick all the apps that like are distracting to you, and it just like says you've locked out of it.
Yeah, I'm gonna look into that.
Yeah,
you catch. Man.
Well, I mean, you'll find yourself being like ignored for 15 minutes here and there and stuff, but it does give you like,
I do that all the time.
Yeah, but it gives you a little like a speed bump before getting on there. Like, are you sure? Because this is like the third time you've asked for 15 more minutes. Like, just ignore the limit for the day. Like, you know.
Yeah, like, who are you fooling?
Just ignoring limits here all day. But yeah, you know, what has it been like, man? Like, how are you and your family during COVID? And, you know, this can be all like one thing, but, you know, how do you feel like that's like affected, you know, your life, like, you know, with art and getting out there, you know, with, you know, clubs and all, like, most places that, like, I mean, right now I'm sure they're opening back up, but like, you know, where your art is seen, you know, is closed down.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I mean, me and my family, we're very close. And so, you know, unfortunately at the beginning, we had to take a few months away because I have an older family. My grandfather's going through chemo right now. So just kind of dealing with that and having to be safe doing it. So, but yeah, just kind of, you know, showing love where I can, when I can, as much as I can right now with them. But as far as work related, like, yeah, it's really frustrating. I had finished, you know, helping build McQueen's and finally put like the finishing touch of like these 4 paintings that I had done, these glass skulls with flowers coming out of them, and really, really good work. Because it was kind of like a new step in my evolution of working with like these flowers I've been doing, and
yeah, I've been
kind
seeing
of on
those.
this growth journey that I've been working with. And so I put them in, and we were supposed to be open like the next day, and then we're shut down. And yeah, it was months. It's been like months. And so finally they're back open now, you know, working under like the regulations. So it's cool. It's nice to finally have my work be appreciated. And it's in a couple other spots. So
yeah, I was wondering though, like, you know, as a DJ, you know, you can't go and DJ in the club. Now Facebook is like, and Instagram is being like, you can't DJ on here either. So figure it out. Like, how does it like affect your pockets? You know, saying like, art, how does this?
I saw a meme of like a DJ in the supermarket, right? It was like Whole Foods, and they were like they were like panning, and you could hear like the thing, and the DJ was over there like. I'm like, oh man,
hard times, bro. Publix is always hiring.
Yeah. So it made me really feel for DJs.
Yeah, no, for real. I mean, because like it's like it was such a high demand, you know, position or job, but like, you know, when it's all gone, like, what do you have? Like, you know,
you get it back. Like, it's not like everybody was under contract. Like, it's kind of every man for himself when it, like, when the switch goes back on.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, though, like, it's just like when the switch comes back on, like I can't even, like, it was hard to have consistent jobs as a DJ when it was normal, like, and now when like the club is opening up every other week or month, like, you're like, how do you make money off of that? Like, as an artist, like, how are you like evolving to, like, kind of evolve with the times too?
Well, I mean, luckily I have a very good, like, clientele that has nothing to do with clubs and bars and hotels. Like I have a individual buyers and people that have commission work paid to be done. So my glass work has that really good following, and that's where I have Instagram to be grateful for, because the fact that we can live off of a social media outlet and be able to put our talent out there and sell it, like, damn, what a better time to live. Because like right now things are crazy, and that's fine. I can stay home and be by myself creating all day and sell from home. That's
how I feel too,
Yeah. So it's tough. Like, obviously I want to see things get back open, because I'm in a stage in my career where I want to be more known in the gallery world as a real artist. I consider myself a creator. Like, obviously people can call me what they'd like on social media, and I'm very proud of everything that I put out on there. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, you're only cool for so long. You can only, do so much. Instagram may not be around in a couple years. Who knows? So my longevity in the real world stands within gallery. And that's a huge part of the next part of my career. And it's been the biggest struggle of my career, is getting into galleries. There's people that I know that are in there. I don't know if it's that industry where it's all about who you know, but it kind of feels like it. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I mean, dude, I've seen you throughout the years. If it's not happening now and that's what you want, eventually it's going to happen for you, dude. So just keep going. Like, that's all I know about you.
It's just so odd to me that I have such a hard time getting accepted or even responses from galleries, when I have all these other individual opportunities that are very gallery-like. The lobby of the H Hotel.
Yep.
Things like that. I'm so grateful for that. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that comes naturally. You always think that, like, these things you accomplish become, good credibility, and that they're going to help you get into the next thing that you want to do. And it's just not always the case, man. You constantly have to be proving your worth.
Yeah. I guess tough. Like, you're only as good as your last thing you did, right?
You are only as good as your last painting. My next piece has to be my best piece.
Yeah. I mean, well, I kind of wanted to ask you this, because I feel like we're similar, but this is like an analogy I say a lot, like, about making music is that, like, you had mentioned, like, I could just be at home, in the zone doing my thing, but I really do feel like, I have a talent, like, where when I make music, I'm like making a drug, and like when I finish it, or like a video, I could watch that thing, like, or listen to it for like a day or like a week over and over again, and it feels like I'm like high. Like, I'll just stay in my bed just like listening to it. Do you feel like that about your work, or like,
I feel like that about music.
Yeah.
I love music like that too, bro.
Yeah.
So, but about my own work, honestly, bro, I'm not attached to my work. And that's one thing I think that is kind of a good thing as an artist. I don't hold on to things. I create them because I need to get it out. I don't want to hold that in. Like, I'm not trying to save memories. I'm not trying to, I'm trying to evolve and allow people to invest in that evolution and let them take a part of that, me with them at that, you know what I mean? And like, and every time somebody gets a piece, they're getting a more valuable part of me. And that's just like that's a big part of it, I think. Letting the work go. But yeah, you're right. I definitely should probably stop every once in a while and smell the roses. You know what I'm saying? Like, I definitely don't stop unless it's a piece that honestly, it's always a piece that I do for nobody. Like, I did it for I don't even want to say I did it for myself, but I always end up keeping it because it becomes a piece that was created with no intentions. Just me pushing my skills to the best level I possibly can to see how good I can create this piece, and not projecting somebody's judgment on it. Because if you hire me for a piece, I'm constantly going to think, well, like, let me make sure Veronica's going to like this. Oh yeah, she wanted blue on the dress. Let me make sure I do that and like lighten this properly. That's not, we're collaborating at that point.
Yeah. That's a good point. I mean, I guess also another part of me, like listening to it, it's just something I've always done, like ever since I was a kid. Anytime I finished like a song or a video, it's just like I keep wanting to watch it over and over again to soak it in, because like eventually you get to the point you're like, this is good, I love this, and then you listen to it more and then you're like, okay, now you start like seeing like where you kind of like could have been better or what you'll do better next time and stuff like that. So it's just like kind of like a part of, I don't know, it's just like it's this weird cycle.
I think for me as an artist, that kind of sounds like when I'm trying to achieve something new in my work. So I want to constantly evolve my work to always be shattered glass, right? But I'm constantly adding all these new elements. I want to add a new element, but it may take 3 or 4 paintings until I get it right. So yeah, at first I'm like, woo, that is fire. And everyone's gassing me up, telling me how good it is. And I'm just being humble. I'm like, I'm like, oh, no big deal. Thank you. I love you too. You guys are awesome. Couldn't do it without you. So, like, but you know what I'm saying? That's my energy. I need that. I need my ego like boosted so that I know I'm doing the right thing. I know I feel good doing it. And by the time I did like a 3rd or 4th piece that had flowers, I couldn't let it go. Yeah. Like, I'm like, this isn't for sale. The price is the not for sale price. Like, you got to offer me something that I can't turn down. But like, this is staying with me. You know what I mean?
That's so sick.
So I think that's how I can relate. Yeah. Is knowing I have a step in my evolution and seeing the step being completed.
For sure.
Leveled up.
Veronica, do you have any questions for J-Bon?
Yeah, I just wanted to, just for our listeners, like, why are you called the Unsigned Artist?
Ooh, good question. Woo! Well, my Instagram was J-Bon Clothing. You know how we have these nicknames, right? My nickname for life has always been J-Bon. My name is Jay Bonadio. Started in high school, and that's just how it is. Like, J-Bon has always been my name. So it was originally my Instagram too, and then when I sold the clothing company and the clothing business and became a full-time artist, my buddy, Jason, Honey, Greedy Goods, shout out Greedy Goods.
Oh, yeah. We got air horns for that.
That I made this name up. He's like, yo, you should, there should be an artist that is called the Unsigned Artist. And like, we didn't really have a backstory to it at the time, but the name was dope. The Unsigned Artist. Nobody had it. We were messing around that day, and we wrote an X with a line, and that was the signature. That's how I signed my paint. And I was like, "Can I have this, bro?" Because he was already Greedy Goods, right? He already had his nickname. He already had his
Greedy Goods is a good name.
Yeah,
your name, right? Like, so you can't even be mad that he gifted me that, and I'm forever grateful. And I'm putting it out there. That's respect.
That's dope.
So I want to make sure that I live up to that. I can't let him down.
Yeah.
Anyways, the Unsigned Artist became a persona online that represents the lifestyle of an artist, whether you're a musician or a creative, or you're not bound to any type of like, overhead control.
Yeah.
And living that lifestyle and being able to prove that you can do what you want for a living and be happy doing it. You don't have to be rich with wealth, you know what I'm saying? Just like rich within and very like confident in what it is that you do.
Yeah.
And ultimately the Unsigned Artist became that kind of persona. And that's why I try to just make sure that I keep it as real as possible. Like, I show a lot of ups and downs. I don't always show all the great. Mm-hmm. I definitely show a lot of when I'm bad. I feel like I'm very telling. You can tell when I'm going through something. I put it out there. You see it in my work, or you hear it in the music in my background. Like, I need that. I need that kind of like, I live off that. I like create off that. And that's what being unsigned is all about. I think that's what fuels a lot of artists, is feeling like the underdog. You know what I mean? I create best when I feel like everybody is against me.
Yeah.
And when I walk into a room, I'm secondary, because like, I'm the hungriest person coming through that door. I'm not going to walk in thinking I'm the best. I know I'm the best.
Ooh.
I know that I'm the best, but I'm going to put you in front of me and I'm gonna show you I'm the best. Like that's being secondary, and that's why you're the most dangerous person like coming through the door.
For sure.
And that's also showing respect to everybody and giving everybody the opportunity to show their hunger. And that's really what the unsigned lifestyle is about. So any artist that can relate to that, that's what I'm about.
Oh yeah, man. Well, I definitely think you you got a lot of people that look up to you when it comes to art. You know, I see people asking you questions all the time and doing all that. So, you know, I think just continue, you know, doing what you do, dude. Like, I think you are very talented. You have it seems like you got a great head on your shoulders. Like today, as a man, you know, I've known you better as like, you know, we got to hang out when we were kids. But when was the last time I saw you? Actually, it was
Noel's birthday dinner.
Maybe no,
like
that was when you got married, right? Or was
a little bit before, yeah.
Oh,
and then I saw you at the wedding.
Yes, yeah.
We got a picture. We look swag.
Yeah, that was a swaggy ass picture because we were both like with the groomsman with the suspenders and stuff. So
were we the Bachelor? Is that so? Wait, where does the name? What is Future Bachelor?
So explain it's funny that you asked. Ooh, good question.
I said that too.
No,
asking you about your story.
When you asked when we asked you about when you explained about the unsigned artist, it's funny because like like being an unsigned artist is like a thing, like, you know, as a musician
like
or
Chance
something.
the Rapper made it his thing.
Right.
Like
you're not like signed to a major label. You're an unsigned artist. So that's why I always thought your name was really cool from a music guy standpoint. You know, but when it comes to our name, the term Future Bachelor is actually a very popular term in the show The Bachelor. Like this show is kind of like was based around the show The Bachelor. My ex, like, you know, had gotten me into it, and now I watch it a lot. And Veronica was a huge fan of it too. And we were like, you know, what could we talk about? And Bachelor's on every week, so that gives us something to talk about. And it kind of turned into a pop culture thing. But the name itself, not only am I a huge fan of Back to the Future, just got this tat, Jay, but this is DeLorean right there. But Future Bachelor, it was like kind of like, yo, I've never seen like someone that looks like me as like a bachelor, you know. And now they've actually have the next bachelor going to be the first black bachelor, but yeah, that was kind of like the concept behind that before, was like, yo, I'm going to be the future bachelor, like. But as time goes on, like even being famous, like, you know, I get scared about like I do all this music and stuff for what though? To be famous one day, just to have everyone like just cancel me eventually, like, you know, like I don't.
I was like, that's why I was doing it. I was doing it for the likes and the follows. I wanted to be famous, bro.
Right.
But that's ego that we kind of like trained our mind to have because this like, you know, for years, and then you become like, you just have this life transition in the real world, and you start looking at the Instagram thing, and that's all. You just start comparing your real life to Instagram, and you're like,
Yeah, I mean, when you're so caught, yeah. Sorry, you're chopped up a little bit on me, but when you start, like, you know, that's kind of where that's why I put limits on my phone. It's because these things can get away from you really bad, and we don't have any, like, you know, this is happening to us in real time. Like, I have to like kind of like doctor myself on this stuff. Like, yo, dude, this can't be good. Like, you're on your phone way too much. Like.
Yeah, you know, my screen time reports are disgusting.
I can't even watch really good TV shows right now because for some reason I find myself on my phone and then like half the show is gone. I'm rewinding everything.
Why the hell
do I have to rewind this like hour-long show 5 times? Like, it doesn't make any sense. But
they might as well just make a phone case with a glove.
Yeah. I honestly, I just bought my mom something, but like, I was like supposed to be surprised, but like, I really feel like, you know, my arm is really starting to, from holding my phone, because like, I'll hold the phone with my pinky right here. And like, I don't think that's any way to hold your hand all day. Like,
no, those go numb, right? I'm not the only one.
And you've got the smartphone pinkies, like you get the little dent in them.
Yeah.
Like it gets
or like you'll
red.
be in your bed, like, you know, on a Saturday morning, like on your phone for 2 hours, and all of a sudden your arms, like, you're like, your hands will let go of the phone and it will drop on your face. Bad.
You know what I'm saying? You set your phone to have a timer to tell you when to stop. That's how I know when to stop. I'm like, dude, stop. Like, your fingers are numb. You can't even go make nothing now.
I know, dude. It is bad. You're like, come on, just like, I just got to make it through this video.
Yeah, you're like, oh, God. Tap, tap.
You're like going to give yourself carpal tunnel.
It's like when you sit on the toilet too long and you can't feel your feet, you know?
Oh, maybe she'll reply.
Oh man, well Jay, man, I really appreciate you coming on the show today and letting our listeners get to know you a little bit because you know you legit do inspire me, dude. Like you always have, and it's really cool to have people in my life that are that do things like that to motivate me because I love to be motivated by people that go hard and chase their dreams and do things that like most people are scared to do. And you always go hard for it. So, man, I want to just say thank you again for being on our show. I'm going to give you a round of applause. Kids going to scream for you. Jay, bye.
No, thank you, man. I appreciate it. It's been an honor.
Yeah,
thank
man.
All right. Where can we find your stuff if people are interested in your work and want to find it? Where should they look?
So I do offer just print work, my silk screen, originals that I sell on my website, which is theunsignedartist.co. And then anything that you want for glass just has to be like an inquiry. You can send an inquiry through the website, or you can hit me up on Instagram, which is theunsigned.artist. And you'll be able to find me off that. And
awesome.
Then just shoot me a DM. I like to work very close with my clients, so I'm always going to respond no matter what it is, good or bad. You can talk shit to me, I'm still going to I might talk shit back, but at the end of the day, you're going to be like, true.
Yeah, word. Well, yo, Jay Bond, thanks again, man, and make sure to go find this kid because he is the shit. We'll talk to you soon, all right, dude?
Man.
Yeah, man.
Later.
Peace.
Well,
yo, thank you, Jay.
That was so cool learning about the unsigned artist.
Yeah. Well, V, do we have any updates on Bachelor stuff? Like, I see you've been watching, Greatest of All Time. I haven't been keeping up with the seasons, but you have. And what's been going on in that world? And also, there's been some stuff going on with Caitlin Bristowe.
Yeah, so Greatest of All Time finally wrapped up. I don't know why they would call it a finale, but it was very much so. They did Juan Pablo for their last season, and I think it's just really to promote Claire because that's the season she was on, and really give her moment of and they brought in some of the other bachelorettes to be watching her stand up to Juan Pablo, really set the stage for women being bosses on the show, blah, 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 blah. So, definitely, she got her little bit of promo straight from her resort, place in where she's filming. So, it was obviously before they started filming that they did all of that. But yeah, Caitlin is prepping for Dancing with the Stars. And she posted about how, she forgot how mean people were when she goes on TV and how she even getting kind of cyberbullied by people saying stuff like she looks so old and plastic, et cetera, et cetera. But she was very genuine about it and was very much so this is how I'm feeling. I let it get to me this time. But she's I'm going to chill out with the dog, have a glass of wine and get back at it. And she's also been very upfront about what work she has gotten done on her face. So I can't really hate on her in that sense because I think that's what matters is being honest about, what you're doing. Yeah. But yeah, so she's I think
it's just one of those feelings of it's permanent shit. You can't go back, so it's like getting a tattoo and someone being like that's dumb, and then you getting in your head and being like, did I mess up, can't get this off of me now, I think those are and the online bullying and combinations of that can get in someone's head, I think because she's always been beautiful, I thought she was pretty on her season. I haven't kept up with her appearance or anything, but I still thought she looked beautiful now. So I don't really know where it's coming from, but
people, trolls exist and they're gonna exist forever. Whenever there's just somebody to troll on, and they'll find anything to find a reason to troll on anybody. But I think it's good that she's honest about her experiences with trolls, and how it's not always sunshine and butterflies, but like you can pick yourself back up and keep going.
Right. Well, let's see. I wanted to get into our slapper of the week.
Hell yeah.
Well, honestly, I think you've been rocking this more than I have, but I had seen you post it. I was like, all right, let's check this out. And it's exactly like the type of stuff I'm trying to make right now. So
I love FLETCHER. So we're doing a song from FLETCHER. She just actually today, she released it early. It's called The Sex Tapes with X in parentheses and the word sex. And it's just I think 6 or 7 songs. Some of them she already released as singles, and they're all bops. I'm a big fan, and this is one of them.
Okay, cool.
The one.
It's called. This is the one. It's called The One, and it's by FLETCHER. Our slapper of the week. Let's get into it. Let's go.
Slapper of the week. This song slaps.
Slapper. One.
The one.
You may not be, but you're the one right now.
Ooh.
That was deep.
Yeah, no, it's cool. So the reason why some of these are called the sex tapes is she did a lot of she filmed some of these videos related to it, or some of the visuals by her ex. Her ex Shannon filmed them. So a lot of interesting. Everyone knows FLETCHER. FLETCHER's kind of the she's full of kind of angsty breakup songs. So I'm a big fan.
I don't know. You saw that video of those angsty teens wearing those hats on Barstool?
No.
It was just it was so funny. It was like a family, son, daughter, mother filming, and the dad, and they all had to wear those restaurant hats. It was a pig.
Yeah.
And it's the angstiest teens ever, and the kids legit look like some fake angsty teens or something from a movie.
It looks literally like a sitcom. Yeah.
Yeah. And they're all just sitting there, but it's funny because they have the hats on. Anyways, do you have any shout outs, V?
Yeah, I wanted to shout out my girl Clarissa for her birthday.
What up, Clarissa?
And then my lovely friend and realtor, Catherine, for being so great throughout this whole process so far.
Raise the roof, Catherine!
Literally, yes. And then I wanted to
Catherine's in the house!
I wanted to shout out my friend Nicole, who is a special ed teacher, and she's, just out here cranking. I've been thinking about her because, school is so different right now, and I know she's trying to do her best to be there for her students. So, yeah.
What's up, Nicole? Well, I wanted to give a belated birthday shout out to my brother-in-law, Victor. I'm so bad with the shout outs on this show. It's crazy. But I want to be better. I love you, bro. And then, of course, we got to thank Jay Bond for being our guest
Obviously,
today.
yes.
So shout out to you, man. Round of applause again for having you.
Woo!
So it was a fun episode. We had a fun Labor Day weekend. Going into this weekend, again, no plans, but that worked out this past weekend. So we'll see what happens. Well, guys, make sure you're following us everywhere on Instagram, on Twitter, YouTube with the clips. We're starting to pick up our Twitter game, I'm hoping, because between Twitter and YouTube, we're going to get a lot of people coming to us eventually. So make sure you're following us there. And then make sure you follow us on Instagram, on Spotify, wherever you listen to your podcasts. We love you. This is what we do. And I don't know. I'd be saying the most random shit at the end of these shows.
Yeah, you have been. I was listening to last week's episode, and I don't even... You talked about your mattress.
Oh, it's let's bring up the mattress again. That's what I forgot.
I'm sure people care.
I got it out of here. Look, it's not here.
I'm so happy.
I got another mattress now in my bed frame, and my apartment's gone back to being clean, so I'm happy about it. And the end of the mattress saga.
Wow.
Yeah, the MCU and Marvel was really reaching out to me about that saga.
They're like, you're already in Atlanta. We can make this work.
Yeah, they're like Phase 17. So guys, whoop-de-dee-doo and toodaloo, so this has been Future Bachelor. Catch us with 1:30. We love you. My name is Sai.
I'm Veronica.
You know what it is. Deuces!
Bye.